been so long since you've been here.
It is a very, very beautiful day in the studio this morning, and I believe it is the same with you wherever you are. Good morning from the hills of ZINARIYA, here in the city of Jos, Plateau State, Nigeria. It is the Unity train, and if you can hear my voice, it means you're rightly tuned into the frequency meter of Unity 93.3 FM. Today is the 7th day of November 2024. The days are really, really running. Today it just seems like yesterday it was the first day of November, and already it is the 7th day of November. Today, as usual, we're going to be taking you on a very, very beautiful ride this morning on Unity Train. As we do this every day, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and of course Fridays. Today is not is not an exemption. We are going to be taking you on a beautiful ride on this program this morning. And like you know, I don't do this alone. I do this with a guest in the house every day, and today I have someone that is a voice that you are familiar with, a voice that is willing to come to you every day, providing it concerns your well-being and providing it concerns the well-being of this nation. He is one that will do anything to see that Nigeria becomes better. Before I introduce him, you can reach us on Facebook on Unity FM/TV Jos, and on YouTube we are on Unity TV Jos. When it's time for you to call in at the third segment of this program, the number to call is 070-3235-3315. 070-3235-3315, and to send in your SMS, the numbers to send in your SMS is 081-6314-1141. Like I said before now, I have with me in the studio an academic juggernaut, a father, and he is coming your way with a very, very big good morning this morning. Good morning, sir.
Hello, big good morning to you, Michael Pedro. Suda Makan, have you eaten?
Yes,
I see you've eaten, at least you've taken something.
Yes, sir.
Viewers and listeners, have you eaten, Suda Makan? Or do you have something to eat? If you have nothing to eat, go to your neighbor's house, knock on the door, and politely ask for something to eat. If your neighbor doesn't have, go to another neighbor. Those in other parts of the world where it is not a beautiful good morning, then a beautiful good afternoon, and a beautiful good evening to you. This is 93.3 FM radio on Unity TV, and we are on YouTube and Facebook. Please tell your neighbor, your friends, your colleagues, your family that we are on air. This is Unity Train, taking off from a fantastic location, and we're going to a very fantastic destination this beautiful morning. But before we take off, let me prepare us for the journey by reminding you of your goals, your dreams, your objectives for 2024. How far so far have you gone about that building project, that book, that political ambition, that new certificate, that new skill you wanted to acquire, that new investment? How far so far have you gone about the new adventure, about that thing you said you were going to do in 2024? How far have you gone? Remember, your goals and objectives must be SMART. SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Remember, it is not going to be a bed of roses when you go about pursuing these goals and objectives. There will be resistance, but your persistence will break every resistance. Remember, there will be difficulties, but in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Sometimes you try and you fail. If you try, you fail once, try the second time. Try the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep trying. Don't stop trying. Failure is not fatal, and success is not final. It is the courage to continue that counts. Nobody dies because he failed in an attempt to do something. The courage to continue is what counts, what really matters, and it will set you on the path to greatness. You need to do something about your life now if you want to have a change. If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're not going to have a different result. If you keep following the same road for even 100 years, and that is a wrong path you're following, it will not become right because you've been following it for a long time. But you can have a detour, you can make a U-turn and take the right route, the right road that will take you to your destination. So, times are tough, difficult, but tough times don't last. It is tough people that do. Remember, winners don't quit, and quitters, they don't win. People were laughing at Donald Trump when he lost elections 4 years ago. But he has had a major comeback. One of the greatest major comebacks in the history of man is Donald Trump, the 45th president of the United States of America, coming back as the 47th president of the United States of America. It was his major goal and objective for 2024. He has achieved it. You can achieve yours too, no matter how big that goal, that vision, that dream is. Don't give up on the way. You can achieve it. They tried to kill Donald Trump at least 2 times within a period of 2 months. But did they stop him? No. He kept perspiring to acquire what he required in life. And he has gotten it. You can also perspire to acquire what you require in life. In case you don't acquire, don't retire. Refire. Refire. Keep pushing on. Keep pressing on. Keep soldiering on. You will get there if you don't stop along the way. No matter how slow you might be moving, as long as you're moving, it's all right. It is when you're stagnant in one place that it is a problem. But as long as you're moving, even if you're crawling, you will get to your destination. I encourage you today, like always, please go out there and make a difference in somebody's life, in your own life, in Nigeria, in the world. Remember to be the change that you want to see in the world.
Thank you so much, sir. If you can still hear my voice, it means you're rightly tuned into the frequency meter of Unity 93.3 FM. And as you know, it is your most anticipated political and socio-economic program on the radio, the Unity Train. Like I said before, we are live on Facebook, and you can get us on Unity FM/TV Just. And on YouTube, we are at Unity TV Just. When it's time for you to call in, the number to call is 07032353315. And the number to send your SMS to is 08163141141. We're just going to delve into the newspaper headline this morning. And the first newspaper I'm going to be looking into is the Tribune. The Tribune, on the front page of the Tribune, it has this to say. It says, Tinubu direct flags to fly at half-mast as Lagbaja dies at 58. 56, sorry. As Lagbaja dies at 56.
And we have to really pay condolences.
Yes.
To this gallant soldier. Major, well, later he became Lieutenant General when he became Chief of Army Staff. Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja. Lieutenant General Taurid Abiodun Lagbaja. As Chief of Army Staff for about 16 months now. When he assumed office, he went around the country. He wasn't afraid to go to military formations, to even go to those on the battlefront, and to reassure them that I am your boss now, but I'm with you. We're in this battle together. You know, this is a man that has been part of several operations, military operations within the country, you know, and beyond. And unfortunately, we lost him Tuesday night. He joined his ancestors. Of course, the rumors of his sickness had been on for weeks.
Yeah.
In fact, at a certain point, there were rumors that he was dead. But the military authorities said, no, he wasn't dead. In fact, the Chief of Defense Staff said then, I just finished talking with him. So he's still alive. But if you look at the drama that kept playing within the presidency and the military headquarters, you know that his sickness was serious because the president had to appoint an acting chief of army staff. We've never had this in the history of this country.
Yeah. 2
chief of army staffs at the same time. You know, one substantive and the other one acting. You know, it means that they knew something that they were not telling us. And this is where the government keeps failing again and again. When a person is a public servant, a public officer, and he's sick, if he has headache, tell us. If he has malaria, tell us. If he has whatever the sickness or disease is, it is the right of Nigerians to know because he's serving Nigerians. But today, if TUNTBE is sick, they won't tell us what is wrong with him. The same thing they didn't tell us what was wrong with Buhari, who spent more than 100 days undergoing treatment, you know, in the UK. Even when Umaru Musa Yar'Adua was sick, they were hiding it. Even when he died, they did not want to tell us immediately until it was exposed. Because, you see, why do you want to hide sickness? Every one of us falls sick. Let anybody come out to tell us that he has never fallen sick in his life, then that is not a human being. Every human being falls sick. So what is there to hide? And every mortal will die one day. Every one of us will leave this world one day. 100 years ago, none of us was here.
Very true.
100 years from now, none of us that are talking or living or walking the earth now will be around 100 years from now. You know, so we want to pay condolences to the family of Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, gallant, wonderful, fantastic soldier. I want to pray that God will comfort the widow, Maria, and her 2 children, that the comfort of God will be their portion, and indeed the entire Nigerian military. This is the 3rd time that we're having a serving Chief of Army Staff die in office. The first time was in August 1967. That was a plane crash. Just shortly as the Civil War just started, the young man, 30 years old, Akaha, that was the Chief of Army Staff, I think he was a Major General, returned back after visiting the front lines, and he wanted to go to his hometown, Boko, in Benue State, and the helicopter carrying him crashed and killed him along with 2 pilots. August 1967. That was the first time a serving Chief of Army Staff died in office. The second time was, of course, in recent years, on the 21st of May, 2021. 21st May 2021, Lieutenant General Tahiru was going from Abuja to Kaduna for an official function, and that was another plane crash, killing the Chief of Army Staff along with 10 others on the 21st of May 2021. And then we're having this one 5th November 2024. So we've passed through this road before, but not in this dimension. The first 2 were what we may call maybe natural disasters or whatever, or accidents, you know, accidents. Helicopter, plane crash. This particular one, he was sick. In fact, information that we got from other sources said he had cancer. To my mind, if it's cancer, it must have been an aggressive form of cancer to have been able to take him out within that short period of time, because until recent months he has been very active and energetic, and you wouldn't
It is indeed a very big loss to the nation at large. The death of the Chief of Army Staff is a very, very big loss to the nation at large. And we say may his gentle soul rest in perfect peace with God. Amen. The Daily Times have this to say, Minister attributes great collapses to vandalism and lack of maintenance, says FG taking the issue seriously. NBC decries loss of lives to Abia, Akwai Ibom boundary dispute. Nigeria needs 10 billion annually to achieve Sustainable Development Goals 2030 UN. Court has bars CBN orders from withholding Kano LG funds. The metrics: US elections, what Trump's return to White House means. What Trump's returns to White House means. What it means for Trump to return to the White House. UK. Sorry.
Well, maybe while you're at it, let's begin to talk. The national grid has collapsed 10 times this year alone, 2024. And between Muhammadu Buhari's administration and Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, the national grid has collapsed 105 times. 105 times the national grid has collapsed, including the one that just happened 2 days back. And I said it on this platform when the national grid collapsed 2 or 3 times within a week. I said it will collapse again, and it has collapsed again.
I remember you.
And I want to say it again today, viewers and listeners. The national grid will still collapse again. You can take that to the bank. Why do I know that? Why is the national grid collapsing? Just within the last 10 years alone, the federal government has spent more than $1.4 billion on the national grid. What is the result? Why is the result? We are still battling to generate a mega. Now they said that maximum capacity, we have 6,000 megawatts of electricity. But the discos are able to distribute 4,000 to 5,000, megawatts. Now, are we not joking as a country? 6,000 megawatts is a shame. When our contemporaries are generating 50,000 megawatts, 80,000 megawatts. When in Malaysia, in only one state, The 6,000 megawatts, they have more than that in only one state. For the whole of Nigeria, the giant of Africa, 6,000 megawatts that we are not even achieving. And the grid keeps collapsing. Why? It is collapsing because of the rising national greed of our leaders and politicians and those in power. So the national grid will collapse because there is too much greediness. G-R-E-E-D, greed. So the national grid, G-R-I-D, will collapse because of the rising national greed, G-R-E-E-D. There is too much greediness among our political leaders. Where is the $1.4 billion? Where are the billions that were pumped in since the time of Olusegun Obasanjo as president of Nigeria? Why is it that the power sector has not been revamped? Why is it that we still don't have electricity as a country?
They say the issue,
where has the money been going to?
From yesterday, the National Orientation Agency is claiming the issue is not with the national grid itself, but the problem is with DISCO. That DISCO are the ones that keeps returning power when power is sent to them. They don't have the capacity to distribute it, so they send
Why
it back.
don't they have the capacity with all the billions? They supposed to have the capacity. How can Egypt have capacity and we don't have? How can South Africa have capacity? We don't have. How can Uganda have capacity? We don't have. How can Cameroon have capacity and we don't have? What kind of capacity are they talking about? What is wrong with the discourse? Why are we even having, is it 11 or how many discourse for the whole country? And why are they rejecting? Because they cannot, they don't have the capability, the technical know-how and the capacity to take this power and distribute it around the country. It means because they don't have the facilities. Why don't they have the facilities? Corruption, the greed. Where has the money disappeared to all the money that has been pumped over the years? Every state in Nigeria should be having at least 6,000 megawatts of electricity that they can distribute around every state so that the nooks and crannies of the states can have power supply. Why don't we have it? Because of greed, because of corruption. Why are other countries able to do it? But we are not able to do it. Because why don't they have the facilities? In spite of the billions that have been pumped into that sector. Because of corruption. Some people have eaten the money. And they are still there. And like we've said on this platform, the president needs to sack immediately Adebayo Adelabu. Adebayo Adelabu, the Minister of Power, should not still be occupying office when the national grid is collapsing and collapsing and collapsing and collapsing. Collapsing 10 times in 2024 and the year has not yet ended. It will still collapse again. And yet we have a Minister of Power. What is he doing there? Sack the man, show him the way out if he doesn't know what to do about power in the country. If the discourse are not performing, scrap them out. Rejig everything. I mean, this is an area that is a national emergency. We need to go and do some reshuffling. We need to go and do some recalibration, realignment. We need to do away with some of the things that we're doing that are not working. And we need to have modern infrastructure in place for proper power generation and distribution around the country. Not those absolute equipments that they're using of 40, 50, 60 years ago that they're still using. Why will it not collapse? Why will it not collapse? And when the discos are using outdated machines, outdated infrastructure, how can we have an effective, power generation and distribution in this country? So, Adelabu, the Minister of Power, should be sacked immediately. He should have been sacked a long time ago if the president was serious. It looks as if in Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, there are sacred cows that no matter how badly they perform, they will still keep their jobs. Maybe Adelabu is one of those sacred cows, and the president is not able to remove him, along with some other ministers we know have performed woefully, worse 10 times worse than the ones that were discharged. So it is unfortunate.
The Nigerian Tribune has a lot to say about this issue of power today. But then we are going to look into it in-depthly when we come back from this very short break. Stay tuned.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune in to Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way.
It concerns you. It a kill law, it a kill dreams. It a land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Get ready to be entertained and inspired by the incredible stories around the globe. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hello at Work is an ultimate TV program that brings to you the interesting stories and daily happenings worldwide. Join us Mondays and Thursdays 10 a.m. as we dive into the daily happenings and stories. Tune in and stay. Say hello to the world as you bring in your ideas, as it is a perfect blend of entertainment and information. Get ready to stay up to date while being entertained.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer, and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was seeing things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again.
Come back from that very short break. Before we went on that break, we were having an in-depth conversation as to the reason why the Nigerian power grid kept collapsing, and the professor had a lot to say about that. But then, what can we say? They say they have generated more than enough, but the discos are unable to distribute it. And again, today's Tribune has this to say. It says $800 million have been budgeted for the upgrade of this equipment. So hopefully very, very soon things are going to get better. Let's keep hope alive. believing that Nigeria is going to get better. As we know, the issue of this power is very, very important, and so let's believe that the federal government,
$800 million, that's if their national grid, GREED, grid corruption, doesn't eat the money. Because since 1999, we've been pumping money. The millions and billions that Obasanjo spent on the power sector was enough to make Nigerian electricity supply one of the best in the world. But the money disappeared. No result. And since then, successive administrations have been pumping money. That's why I'm not optimistic about anything, about the power sector. I'm not optimistic because we don't have the right people there. People like Delabu should not be there. When you keep leaving mediocres handling what is very sensitive and crucial to the nation, we need power for our industries, factories to function well. We need power for our hospitals. We need power for our institutions, media houses, our houses. We need power in every sector of the economy. And yet you don't have the right people handling it. I mean, then how are you going to make a headway? If the discourse are the problem, why don't you disband the discourse? Why don't you set up discourse that have the capacity to distribute the power? You know, I mean, if they're not able, it means that they don't have the technical know-how, they don't have the facilities, they don't have the equipment. Why don't they have the equipment? Because of corruption, because of greed, because they're eating the money.
Or maybe there's no plan. There's no plan to actually upgrade the generation capacity. Else, if we know we have plans to generate to improve our generation capacity, we would have done something about the disco, knowing that they will be the ones to actually distribute these lights. But then, now that we have improved and they are not able to...
The power sector is corruption. QED, greed. The national grid collapses because of increasing national greed, 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 corruption. Money meant for the sector is not being utilized properly. That is the problem. QED. We're deceiving ourselves if we blame the discourse, we blame some other people. Why are they not performing? Because of too much corruption in the system. We need to arrest that corruption, those corrupt practices. Why is it that these people collect money, the money disappears? How do they know? They just come give you an estimated bill, you pay it, the money disappears. If they put a meter for you, they say ban A, ban B, and all those ones. And I mean, it is even wrong. It is segregative to categorize Nigerians into ban A, ban B, ban C, ban D, and all that. I mean, it is segregative. It is wrong. To say some people are in ban A. Why are they in ban A? Why are some others in ban B? And all that. It is all the corruption that is in the system. And until it is tackled, sorry Nigerians, we will keep having this problem. And that is why we're saying the president should do the needful. The president should show himself that he is the president of Nigeria. That is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, by removing all the current leadership, not just the Minister of Power, Delabu, but everybody that is involved in the current leadership in the power sector. Remove them. Revolutionize, restructure the power sector of the country so that it can be set on the right footing to generate enough power and distribute the power. And we shouldn't be concentrating in just one source of power. What are we doing about solar power? We can have enough solar power. Some countries, 60% of their power supply is from solar. And go to Germany and see what they're doing.
Enough sun.
We have enough sun. Why are we not generating from solar? Why are we not using wind? Why are we not using biogas, bioenergy? Why are we not maximizing all these various sectors so that we can have enough power in the country? Because some people want to keep milking the treasury, they want to keep amassing wealth, they want to plunge the country in perpetual darkness again and again. They're happy to see the national grid collapse again and again and again and again. So that when we are without light for 10 days, and then 11, 12 days or more, and when they bring it, then we rejoice and celebrate that they have done something good. I even blame us Nigerians. Why are we even celebrating? That for 12 days we're in darkness in the north and the brother we are celebrating. Instead of us to go and hold our leaders accountable, we are celebrating what? That they're bringing light. After 10 days we're having power, we're celebrating when we should go and call our leaders to account, hold them accountable and tell them that you have failed. You should vacate, leave those offices. It doesn't call for any celebration. That we even have power right now doesn't call for any celebration.
Some people
until
have not
the day
the
that
light
we
yet.
have electricity in this country for 5 years, uninterrupted for a second. That's the time we should celebrate. When we have power in Nigeria, in all the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory and the 774 local government areas, the day we have power supply uninterrupted 247 for 5 years without a single blink, that's the time we should begin to celebrate. Not now. Not now. They are not doing well at all in the power sector. We should not be celebrating. We should be cautioning them. We should be shouting. We should be making noise. We should be telling them that they have failed. The federal government has failed. State governments have failed when it comes to the power sector. They have performed abysmally poor. And they should be held accountable for all the millions and billions that have been wasted in the power sector without any results to show for it.
And you know, sir, the whole idea of this Ban A, Ban B, and Ban C is a systematic way of telling us that some Nigerians are more Nigerians than other Nigerians. Because I don't see why some people will be more prioritized when it comes to the issue of light, and then others are not prioritized. When all of us, we all pay bills. If the issue is with the metering, what is stopping the metering? They should meter everywhere, and so everybody can get light the same way as others are getting. Because since the issue of this power grid collapse was restored in recent time, some areas have not even seen light. Like my area, we only see light at night, and it's just for 2-3 hours. It's a thing of concern. What will you do with light by 2 a.m. at night when you are asleep, and then in the afternoon you don't even see the light because you are on band B or band C or maybe band D. I don't know if there's band E and other bands, but it should not be like that. This is you saying some Nigerians are more Nigerians than other Nigerians, and it should not be accepted at all.
Absolutely.
It should not be accepted at all.
Absolutely.
There's this issue I saw on the newspaper this morning that I don't know if you would want to throw light on or you want to make a comment on. Presidents of nations were congratulating Donald Trump even before Kamala accepted defeat. Does that go to say that nations were expecting that Donald Trump is going to emerge the winner, or is there a special interest with Donald Trump coming from yesterday's election at
well, you see, every nation on earth is interested in who becomes the president of the United States of America. It is said when America sneezes, the world catches cold. It's not the whole world will catch cold. Why? Because America, the United States of America is the world police. They are like the big brother that monitor what happens all over the world, whether it is in Russia, in Ukraine, whether it's in Israel, in Iran, in Saudi Arabia, in Somalia, in China, anywhere in the world. So naturally, world leaders will be interested in who becomes the president. The congratulatory messages started pouring in because it was very apparent that Donald Trump was cruising his way to victory. By the time the Electoral College votes were showing 222 to 228 for Kamala Harris, and Donald Trump already had 266. You already know that he's the next president. You don't even need to wait for that magic number of 270 because you know that he's going to get it. On this platform, we had analyzed the two candidates. At a certain point, we had said that it was going to be a tight race. And at some certain point, we had alluded to the fact that it looks as if Trump will be cruising his way to victory because his opponents ended up making him more popular than he was in 2020. In fact, than he was in 2016, 2017. They ended up making him more popular. And his enemies ended up selling him to the voters even more. When they tried to assassinate him in July, he escaped that assassination. He became a hero. 2 months after, they tried again to assassinate him. Also, he was a hero because both assassination attempts failed. And by the time the campaigns reached some great heights, you know, Trump is a very clever politician. Give it to him. While Kamala Harris and her group were busy talking about things that do not really matter to Americans. What really matters to Americans? Number one is the economy. Number two, security, safety. And in all the history of America, Americans have always felt safer during crisis under a Republican government, which Donald Trump represented. And you know, with the economic crisis again compounding the situation, Donald Trump, all he just does is when he goes out for a campaign, he will ask the Americans, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? And the answer is obviously no. There is no American that is better off today than 4 years ago when Donald Trump handed over to Joe Biden. Their purchasing power had become low. The economy had deteriorated. And in many respects, people have lost jobs and all that. So naturally, is your condition better off? Are you better off today? Is your economy better off today? Your purchasing power, your salary and everything better off today than 4 years ago? No! I will make it better. Just vote me, bring me back. I will make America great. And they made Donald Trump's campaign very easy. They made his victory very easy. In fact, I think even he himself is surprised that he has surpassed what was predicted. He had garnered more votes. Unlike the last time he became president, he won the electoral college votes, but he did not win the popular vote. This time around, he did not only win the electoral college vote, he also won the popular vote.
But some people are saying that the victory is has something to do with gender, that it is because Kamala is a female and Donald Trump is a male, and that is why he is cruising to victory. Do you think it is like that?
I think those people are mistaken. Americans are clever. Because, I mean, would you expect that Donald Trump, who is undergoing trial with cases left, right, and center, you know, against him, would you expect that he will become the president of the United States of America? I mean, naturally, you will have thought no. Yeah. But Americans feel that they are safer with Donald Trump. It is a critical time in the history of the United States of America. They need a strong leader. Donald Trump represents strong leadership. He can be very erratic. That is what the Americans want. He can be very unpredictable. That is what the Americans want. He can be the person that can even trigger a nuclear war if needs be. Americans want a president that is decisive, that can take action when action needs to be taken. Kamala Harris, on the other hand, represents the liberals, represents leadership weakness as far as Americans are concerned.
Is that because she's a woman and she's emotional?
It is not because of being a woman. Margaret Thatcher was a woman. And she was a strong leader than most men before her who were prime ministers of the United Kingdom. Even after her, it's very difficult if you found a prime minister with a strong leadership, a strong choleric leader like Margaret Thatcher. So it has nothing to do with gender. It has more to do with ideology and the personality of the person involved, not our gender. We had the German Chancellor, Merkel. She was a strong leader, decisive, but she was a woman. So it is not about gender, it is about the leadership style, the personality of the person involved. Joe Biden, is he not a man? But as far as the Americans are concerned, Joe Biden did not give America strong leadership during his time as president. So they feel that they are safer with a Donald Trump. A Donald Trump that is decisive, that can wake up from sleep and take a decision and stand by it. He doesn't care whose ox is gold. He doesn't care what you think. He just wants America to be great. They want a Donald Trump that is interested in stopping illegal immigrants into the country. That is interested in providing jobs. A Donald Trump that wants a strong economy for America. A Donald Trump that wants America to dominate the rest of the world. That's what the Americans want. And they have found it in Donald Trump. And that put him several miles ahead of Kamala Harris. The Democrats made fundamental mistakes right from the beginning. First, in allowing Joe Biden to even start, and then later Kamala Harris had to take over, and then they went on with their liberal policies to talk about LGBT rights and liberalism and freedom, and all those things, and bring in celebrities to be the campaign promoters. Beyonce, what are the names,
Taylor Swift and the likes.
Taylor Swift and the rest of them and all that. That's not what Americans want. You bring all those celebrities. Americans are passing through tough times also. Like Nigerians. Not as much as us, but they also, the economy is biting hard on them. So they're not interested in your liberalism. They're not interested in all those talk about you have freedom, do whatever you feel like doing, and all that. Americans are interested in knowing how will you make our economy better? How will you provide jobs?
The Republican ideology places Donald Trump as an attack.
Absolutely, at this particular point in time. And go back to history and look at history. Anytime America is at war, the president will be a Republican. Anytime there is danger ahead of America, the president will be a Republican.
I can tell that about George Bush, actually.
All right?
Yes.
Because Republicans are out to make America the strongest force on earth, the dominant power on earth. They're out to make America crush every other country on earth. So anytime Americans sense that there is danger, they feel safer with Republicans.
So this is not
even
the time,
those who used to vote Democrats will go and vote Republicans.
This is not the time for the carrots approach. This is the time for
the stick approach. As far as many Americans are concerned, this is the time for a decisive leader, a choleric leader, a leader who will say it and do it as he's saying it, who will walk the talk, talk the walk, a leader that will stand his ground and make America great, and a leader that will provide jobs for the people. Job security is very important. A leader that will take decisive steps to revamp the American economy. And they found it in Donald Trump's slogan is "Make America Great Again."
So, sir, these two political parties are actually how do I call it? They have their point of difference basically when it comes to ideologies.
Absolutely.
The Democrats and the Republicans. Do you think the Americans are guided by this, or is it because the Americans are actually having a certain level of political orientation that they can make decisions that would benefit their nations? Because often at times you see their election, always they look at the contemporary issues that their country is facing, and that will determine who will become their president. Unlike the case of Nigeria, we look at tribe, we look at what do I call it, how rich the person is. You can tell from the recent election when people were saying Tinubu will not need our money, he is rich, he's that, and that is the reason why they voted him. Do you think if Nigeria would have political parties with different ideologies, precise ideologies that people will know about, that Nigeria will get better and then we'll get to vote in this direction like the Americans are?
And if we stick to the ideologies. Very important. You don't
having them is one thing, sticking to them is another.
You don't find Republicans cross-carpeting, becoming Democrats, and Democrats becoming Republicans. It rarely happens.
Very true.
But in Nigeria, we've had people aspiring for the office of president who have cross-carpeted. Atiku has moved from PDP to APC to back to PDP. He has been moving left, right, and center. That's somebody who wants to become our president. He's not the only one, all of them. The presidential aspirants. Peter Obi has changed party. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has changed party. All right? All of them have been moving from one place to the other. Of course, Bola Tinubu might say maybe his party, it was a merger that produced the APC, you know, and all that. But we know that many of the politicians we have in Nigeria, they have no ideology. Their ideology is their pocket. Their ideology is money that they will make and position that they occupy.
Is this because the political parties are not built on ideologies?
What is the ideology of the PDP now, if you ask them? What is the ideology of the APC? No ideology. All they want is power. Power to the people. Once they get the power, that is all. No ideology. Once they get the power, people from other parties will cross carpet and join whoever wins, because in Nigeria, you know, winners takes all. So if you're in PDP, become the president, people from APC will join you. If you're in APC, become the president, just like Bola Ahmed Tinubu. People from APC followed Buhari and they followed Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because there is no ideology. Look at the manifestos of these parties. APC, PDP, what is their ideology? APC and PDP, they are the same. APC is PDP, PDP is APC, they are the same. They are birds of the same feathers. They are the same cycle of people who have been leading Nigeria, ruling Nigeria, you know, looting Nigeria since 1999 when we entered this current political dispensation. It has been the same people. Call their names. They are the same people. They have just been cross-carpeting. In 2027, if PDP produces the president, the same people in APC, you will see they will move to PDP again. It's the same people. They will go and take appointments there. They will go there and be whining and dining. They don't have ideology. These are not people that will say, look, I am in PDP, this is the ideology of PDP, and I stand by it, and I will not leave it. In the past, we've had men with ideologies. We've had the likes of Abubakar Rimi. We've had the likes of those people who stood their ground, who refused to cross carpet, who insisted that, look, we are working for the Talakawas, the Aminu Kanos of those days. They stood by their ideologies, and they refused to give in, they refused to follow the ruling party. They remain with their ideologies, but that is not what we're having today. You know, even in the first generation, we had people with some little bit of ideology. Let's give it to them. They are by far better than the current crop of leaders and politicians that we have in the country. So we have a fundamental problem. Our political parties are trying to copy the United States of America, but they copy and paste wrongly. They copy, paste, and it scatters. Because they copy, and they're copying from a different version to another version in Nigeria, and they just paste without formatting properly, and everything scatters. And that is the kind of democracy.
Without looking into our peculiarity and our differences.
Absolutely. Now, look at it. Key. Are we doing electoral college like they do in America? We are not doing it.
No.
And we said we are doing American presidential system. They have a two-party system, Republican, Democrats, and then they have the independents. Is that what we are doing? We have 20-something. In fact, one time we had 78 parties. In fact, 80-something political parties in this country. No, I mean, we're just joking. I mean, we're not serious people.
You will be left.
And then you wonder what is the ideologies of all these different multitudes of parties that we have all over the country. Now, currently, all right, we have PDP, we have APC, we have a Labour Party. They all have people in government currently. ABGA have people in government, and some other small parties, they have people in government, whether at the federal level or state level, local government level, and all the rest. But what is their ideology? The Republicans have a clearly defined ideology that they follow. The Democrats have a clearly defined ideology, and they follow it. It doesn't matter for how many years. The United States have been having elections for hundreds of years.
They believe the ideology is going to make
when
America
it was
better.
Fixed on the 5th of November 1845. Since 1845, election day has always been 5th November. Since 1845, it has not changed. Here in Nigeria, what are we talking about? Do we even? I mean, we are just, we're just carried away. Today we're here, tomorrow we're there. Okay, this is the in-person now. Everybody will say this is the deliverer, this is the Messiah. They will all migrate and follow his party, like they followed President Muhammadu Buhari, and he went and crushed and disappointed those who followed him. Some trekked from one part of the country, to go to Abuja in celebration. Some drank gutter water from drainage, to celebrate and all manner of things. And they were woefully disappointed. 8 years of the Buhari administration lacked ideology. It was a great embarrassment and a disappointment. And history will not be kind to President Muhammadu Buhari because he came in with the goodwill of Nigerians. And Nigerians were expecting great things to happen, but they were disappointed. Insecurity became worse. By the time he left, Nigeria was more insecure than even the time when he came, when Boko Haram was restricted to the northeast, and some few parts of the country. When Buhari came, there was insecurity all over the country, from Maiduguri to Lagos, from Sokoto to Port Harcourt, from Abuja to Abakaliki. We have insecurity of all kinds. The bandits multiplied, kidnapping, herdsmen attacks and killings and all manner of things, and we're still experiencing the same. Even under the current dispensation that has spent slightly over a year in office. So we don't have political parties with ideology. Unfortunately,
I think it is high time we change our orientations and as Nigerians, and then look at parties. Or it is high time we go back to the drawing board and start all over again, so we can have parties with ideologies, so the people can be tilted or will support a political party.
If you look at Donald Trump today, Donald Trump from head to toe, Donald Trump is a Republican. He will never become a Democrat.
True.
He will not agree to leave Republican and join the Democrats.
Because the Republican carries his belief,
because he believes in the Republican ideology. The same thing Kamala Harris. She will never become a Republican. But in Nigeria, it is a different ball game. All that they do is wherever the wind is blowing, they go there. Where the goods are, that's where they go. Where the money is, where the power is, that's where they go. That is why you have people who were opposing APC. Are they not serving today in the APC government?
Very true.
You have people who said Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they condemned him and said all manner of things. They're in his government. They just want to eat. And they just want to partake of the national cake. It is the greediness, the pecuniary avarice that drives the average Nigerian politician. That is their ideology. The average Nigerian politician's ideology is pecuniary avarice, is greed, is where the money is, where the power is, that's where they go. It is not that they will stand their ground and say, look, this is what I believe. Even if you're going to kill me, I stand by it. I don't care how much you will give me or what position. This is my ideology, and this is what I'll follow for the rest of my life.
It is high time we change our political orientation and tilt it towards ideologies and not individuals. We'll be going on this very short break and we will be back. Stay tuned.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Unity. Unity TV.
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows,
Mr. Politician. It's good to see.
If you can still hear my voice, it means you rightly tuned to the frequency meter of Unity 93.3 FM and TV here in the city of Jos. It is still your most anticipated political and socio-economic program on the radio, the Unity Train. And this segment is that segment you've been waiting for. It is your segment, the segment that allows you call in, give your input and submission as to the contemporary issue we have on ground today. If you want to call in, the number to call is 070-3235-3315. 070-3235-3315. And to send your SMS and text messages, you can send it to 081-63-14-1141. So we were talking about ideology.
Yes.
And when you have a problem that is built on ideology, then the need for a government that is built also on ideology is needed.
That's right. If you have a government based on ideology, that government will stand the test of time. That party will stand the test of time. The reason why the Taliban could not be conquered by the world power is ideology. Russia could not conquer the Taliban. They failed. America could not conquer the Taliban. They failed. The Taliban is still there out today. It's ideology. Why is it that we've not been able to conquer Boko Haram? It's ideology.
Built on ideology.
We've been fighting Boko Haram for 15 years. Have we conquered them? Are they not still there? They are built on ideology.
We've conquered some leaders, but the ideology remains.
We killed the founder of Boko Haram, Mohammed Yusuf. We killed the 2IC, Abu Bakr Shekau. We've been killing them, but they are still there. Ideology. Because of the ideology that established those groups. That's why you see the Republican is very strong, Democrat very strong, because they are built on ideologies. That is what PDP doesn't have. That is what APC doesn't have. What is their ideology today? They don't. They don't have. Their own is just to get power. That is all. They don't have any ideology that drives the party, that drives the group, that drives the members. Something that they can lay down their lives for. They don't have it. That is why you see that anytime something is built on ideology, it is very difficult to conquer, if not impossible. That's why Israel is still fighting Hamas up to today. Israel is one of the strongest powers on earth. Hezbollah, they are fighting Hezbollah. As strong as Israel is, it's difficult for them to conquer Hamas. It's difficult for them to conquer Hezbollah. Why? Ideology. These people are driven by ideology. So if you have a political ideology that the people are driven by it, I mean that it will be very difficult to be able to crush those people because they are driven by ideology. And from generation to generation, that ideology will be passed on, and the people will run with the ideology, will be driven by the ideology. They will act in accordance with the ideology, and they will ensure that the ideology is fulfilled, is accomplished. The ideology of that group, of that body, of that party. And that is what is happening in the US. Republicans, they have their ideology. The Democrats have their own ideology. If we had parties, political parties in Nigeria with ideology, and the members are driven by that ideology, and they're ready to lay down their lives for that ideology, by the time they get power, they will position Nigeria in the direction of that ideology and make Nigeria become just the way the ideology is. If it is to ensure that Nigeria is the strongest, greatest country in Africa, you see Nigeria becomes. But we don't have it. These guys, the current crop of politicians we have in Nigeria, all they want is power. Power, 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 and money. That is all.
Now you'll be left wondering what is the reason why I would want to be a member of PDP. Why will I want to be the member of APC when I don't even have an ideology?
That's all. They just want those parties to win elections.
So we have
power. That's all.
We have a caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Pedro.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Pedro.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Ishaku Umar from Kilungo, Nasarawa.
Ishaku, good morning.
Good morning, Professor.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I suppose, Professor, about that Minister of Power. Adelabu. That man made it right. He's supposed to go with the sack that man. That man, they quote everything about Nigeria power. You don't crack Nigeria power, man. I suppose the sack, the president is supposed to sack that man. That man, he don't okay. They're supposed to sack that man.
Thank you, Ishaku. Thank you for that, your input.
In short, Ishaku is saying Adelabu should have been the first to be sacked.
Yes.
Not Professor Tahir Mamman.
Actually.
Not Oju, Kennedy, and the rest of them, you know. They performed better.
Good morning, sir.
Adelabu. Good morning. Ike Kalu, of course.
Oh, sir, Ike Kalu, good morning, sir.
When we talk about election and democracy, you can see the resemblance of what democracy is all about. We have to really show and demonstrate that as the owners of the institution. Government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But Pedro, do you hear about anybody going to court?
Nobody.
Do you hear about the economy being granted?
No.
Do you hear any electoral college saying that if Biden wishes Biden has a promise to conduct a credible election?
No.
Do you see any security threat?
No.
That place is where even in 2 weeks and 1 week time before the election, people have gone there. You see, just the way our able block is saying it. You're talking about PDP, APC, and all these things. These are not want to get into leadership and become a fanatic billionaire. You can't be a PDP. A PDP is not the grandfathers and grandmothers of all political parties in Nigeria. All of them go and take them, all of them have tested PDP. If they are not able to get what they want, they sit the ground and open another party. If they are not able to get what they want, they sit ground and open another party. That is how we got to this level of party we have in this country. It's unfortunate, my brother. Nigeria should open their eyes and go away with this issue of blind followership. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Ike Kalu.
Blind followership. Let's not be following these politicians blindly.
We don't even know the reason why we're following them. Good morning.
This is Tafe from Nasarawa.
Sorry, come again, your name?
Yeah, good morning, Prof.
Good morning.
How can we stop this in the democracy where there is no ideology? Mamaganji said something that politics without principle is the root cause of corruption, violence, and even in society. People have to succeed as a people. We need to have ideology. The kind of politics we play in Nigeria is transactional politics. We develop and people aspire for leadership in order to make a difference. But in Nigeria, people aspire for leadership in order to make a living. So how can we build a nation with such kind of attitude? I think for us, we need to change our attitude as a people in order to live in Nigeria and build Nigeria of our country. That's my contribution this morning.
Thank you so much. That's a very, very beautiful contribution.
If you ask Bola Ahmed Tinubu today, what's his ideology?
No
is he practicing Zikism? Or what is he doing? You know, I mean, no, they just want the power. That's all.
Yeah.
The control. That's all.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to you and to the folks on the studio.
Morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from? Yes.
Yeah, my name is Adepola.
Okay, from Kunga.
You are doing a very nice job here. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. God bless you too.
I think this I want to contribute about this, our politicians in Nigeria, not of ideology. That they have, that's why it's always happening, affecting all the masses. You understand? How do we condemn from our parties in Nigeria, because if they have constitution for their party, that if we tell it in the center of the policy, I think they will have an ideology for their people and for their party, so that they respect their party. You understand? They will stop jump off from one party to another. You understand? It's very, very opportune. That's why most of politicians in Nigeria, they don't have it in their heart. They don't have Nigeria for their heart. They are just looking for their own purpose. They make politics like business. This is very, very bad. So I said I'm going to touch their heart so that they start carrying people along, so that they keep on serving Nigeria and all their own family. And then lastly, for this issue of the power of minister of power, let him to be here and tackle the issue of this power, so that we will have total power supply in Nigeria, because honestly, I think I'm going to help us.
Thank you, God bless you. Thank you, God bless you. You know, Professor, it is lack of this ideology that makes leaders become confused when they are elected into office. We had one leader, one governor that became a governor and said he didn't know what to do. If the political party had an ideology after he became a governor, he would have had a sense of direction. But he did not know what to do because there's actually no ideology that brought him into. Yeah, good morning. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, please, my name is Mohammed. I'm calling from Georgia.
Okay, Mohammed.
Yes, I want to appreciate the prof for the good job he's doing over there. I am as a student of knowledge. As a student of knowledge, I want to fall completely in line with what the prof has just told us this morning. There's no way you will have your personal appetite or your personal greed increasing, and then you want to see the national greed increasing also. It's not possible. As your personal greed is increasing, the power,
other interest will decrease.
The national greed will be diminishing because of the principle, the natural principle of conservation of energy. Energy can never be created nor destroyed. And that is why I want to completely fall in line with it. Secondly, the issue of the segregation of banding of the customers by the National Power Authority is very, very wrong. Because I also think that even the ultimate aim of their ultimate aim is just to ban everybody, I mean to keep everybody on the same band. Otherwise, people that are enjoying, I mean, they are getting more of the power. I think they should be giving some incentives because they are getting more of the power. Their ultimate aim is just to increase. Now that they are having creative power, now I did not now downgrade the customer, they are using them on that badge. And then lastly, you talk of the ideology in the United States of America, they recently completed election. You talk of the ideology of the political party. And in Nigeria, it's very, very impossible because of they have been so much impoverished, the masses so much so that they find it very, very difficult to live in any ideology. The ideology is just one. Everywhere the stomach is sitting is the front. Wherever they can get, anybody can get anything to sustain himself. That is where the ideology is hunger. And that is why it's very, very difficult to remain in a political party. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We have some few text messages in the house. This one says, good morning, Mr. Pedro, amiable, consistent, and passionate analyst, Professor Bameyi. My heart goes out to the family of General Lagbaja, the military over his death. May God rest his soul. The issue of electricity in Nigeria is a shame. In other climes, the Minister of Power would have resigned before he is asked to. The minister is still keeping his job and still very comfortable. it's unfortunate. I agree with Prof that the national grid keeps collapsing because of the national grid. If not, where is the billions of naira pumped into electricity? Our leaders should for once be selfless and stop all the greed so that our country can be better. Peace is priceless. Let's live in peace. God bless Unity FM, Plateau State and Nigeria. Christy Izam from Rukuba Road. We have another caller.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
I am Bashir, one time Dankoli.
Dankoli.
Good morning, Prof.
Good morning.
We appreciate the unbiased analysis.
Thank you.
I want to contribute about the American election. So you see, we are learning from them. When I'm watching all this thing that is going, there is no issues of money there. And there is no issues of I am a Muslim or I am a Christian, vote for me because of my religion. No, they are voting based on credibility. When are we growing up? So you see Nigeria now, we are learning. We are learning. So the political leaders, they should come back and go back there to their drawing board. Watch out, do the right thing at the right time. So we are learning. Thank you very much, Prof.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. I have this text message. It says, good morning, Professor Bamiyi. Pedro, how are you doing today? Trump's success was as a result of his doggedness, alacrity, resistance, and perseverance for 4 years, and against all odds, may Taurit Lagwaja rest in peace. Lawal Kiwa from Sabon Pegi. I have another text message. It reads, from Joseph Sani Zaruma Faringada. Good morning, the presenter, Mr. Prof, and in the radio studio. I appreciate all your educative analysis on promoting transparency and objectivity. More greets to your elbow. Thank you. Thank you, Joseph Sani from Faringada. This one reads, good morning, Kulbi and our daddy and Professor Poveno Nentawe as a Minister of Humanitarian and Poverty Alleviation. He is for Nigerians, not only for Plateau or APC. Please, let's keep the peace reign. I'm in peace with Dr. Professor Nentawe Yelwada Goshwe as a Minister of People of Nigeria. We pray that Almighty God will add more wisdom to Dr. Nentawe to take the affairs of that newly populated Nigerian office. We thank you, Baba God, and thank you, Jagaban Oshe Baba. God bless you, Lalong and Honorable Festus Fonta, Boniface Lalong, Nentawe, Jikam Baba, Tinubu from Dr. Nentawe office in Nigeria. We are one big family. This one says, good morning, Professor PH and Mr. Pedro. I sincerely commiserate with the family of Lagwaja, with all Nigerian people, for the demise of Lieutenant General Taurif Lagwaja. He's a serious, gallant, patriotic, and zealous military officer. May his gentle soul continue to rest in peace. Thank you. We lost that call. This one says, good morning, Michael P. All right, let me take this call first. Good morning. All right, I lost that call also. Says, good morning, Michael P. and Professor P. Nice move. I always cry within myself for my last day, the day that I can't help myself, the day that Allah will delete me out of this world, the day that my loved ones will be scared to approach me, the day that my beloved ones will make sure I am totally sealed to the ground, the day that I will be left alone with only my deeds, the day that I will be referred to as the deceased. What about you? Be mindful of your Almighty Creator. Hassan Garba. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from, sir?
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Sadiq Umar. I'm calling from PTNT.
Sadiq Umar, good morning, sir.
Yeah, you see, first of all, I want to send my condolence to the Nigerian Army for the loss of the chief of armed forces. This is a very, very unfortunate issue, and we have served Nigeria. May the soul rest in peace. And also congratulate America for the emerge of their election, their president. You see, we have to copy a lot of things in the American system of election. If the system of American have paid them Why can we not use and borrow that system so that we can use it and we relate it to our country so that it can be us? Because when we look at election in Nigeria, it's something that is just plan on incumbency and power. So we are hoping that that will not maintain when it comes to another election. And we are calling on the president to look at this that is happening, especially this issue of life. You see, this issue of life is bringing underdevelopment in the community because light and power is what the production company are using to produce goods. So without their light, even though the production is going to be very, very expensive, but we don't know what are we benefiting from this administration. That's the question I always ask. If light is not stable in our economy, a barber cannot able to make a barb, a woman that is selling people cannot able to.
Oh, we lost that call. That's a very beautiful input you're giving you're giving before the call was interrupted. This one says, good morning, Mike Pedro and the Prof. I don't know why President Tinubu will still retain Minister of Power and Military. Maybe they are his younger brothers. Maybe they are his junior brothers. There are people who have failed Nigerians completely. It's a big disgrace on them. If the present is not maintained, will the future be bright? Mr. President should sack them for the progress and development of this country. These two beings are not patriotic. With them in government, we live in a worst and terrible condition. My regards to Barrister and Kulbi. Emilongs from Agingi. Emilongs, thank you for that very beautiful input. This one says, good morning, Mr. Pedro and Professor Bameyi. Now, why is the Minister of Power not called to order as the grid collapse again? My question is, for how long will Nigeria continue to suffer power failure under this administration? Can the government help do the needful as Nigerians are not happy with the present Bola Ahmed Tinubu regime? We are actually missing President Goodluck Jonathan. May the labor of our heroes past not be in vain. God bless Nigeria. Adewumi from Bauchi Road. It is unfortunate that for every successive governments, we tend to appreciate their predecessors. That has been the case of Nigeria since the inception of the Fourth Republic, and it is very, very unfortunate. If your yesterday is better than your today, then you don't have a future. It's a problem for Nigeria, sincerely. I have this from the social media, Facebook to be precise. It says, very, very unfortunate. It says, good morning, gentlemen in the studio. Special greetings to Professor Bameyi for your wonderful analysis. I totally agree with Prof that the Minister of Power deserves to be sacked so that other people in charge of power sector will sit up and take their job seriously. In spite of incompetencies of our past presidents, this persistent power failure has never happened with this consistency like this year. If the president wants to be seen to be really serious, his first casualty in this issue should be the power minister. It's a big shame that things are every day deteriorating in our country rather than improving. Muhammad Tajuddin from Naraguta. This one says, good morning, Unity FM. I'm wishing you well in just. This one says, good morning to Unity FM. Good morning and good morning. So, Professor Sir, it has been a very, very wonderful ride this morning, and your contributions have been very, very educative and informative also. As much as you have heard from the professor this morning, we will be coming back to you same time, same station. Come tomorrow morning. Ensure that you tune into the frequency meter of Unity 93.3 FM. Come tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. This is me saying good day, and you have a blessed day today. Professor, your final words for the day.
Yeah, so beautiful. Our callers have spoken fantastically well, and we appreciate them. Just to encourage Nigerians, we must not give up. Those who want to japa, you don't have to run out of the country. We can stay here, salvage the country together. Those of you who might be listening to me and Nigeria has trained you in the US, UK and other places, be patriotic enough to return back and give back to your country. We must all join hands together to make Nigeria great. So don't give up. Keep soldiering on. Keep pushing on. There is always a ray of light at the end of the tunnel.
That was a beautiful one from the professor. See you tomorrow, same time, same station. Have a blessed day ahead.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion?